I'm going to get out here and return some of these punts.
And good evening. Welcome to this week's edition of the Pigskin Report on 1039 985 mypigradio.com, brought to you by Investment Housing and Texarkana Game Day. I'm John Williams, and joining me from Texarkana Game Day, Morgan Smith. Morgan, great to have you in on another exciting Friday evening of high school football.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right. Before we look into the big matchups from this week, kind of look back and see what happened last week on the field. Now, we already covered Texas High because they played on Thursday, so we're not going to go back into that again. And Liberty Ilo obviously had a bye week, so they were off, so nothing to talk about there. Now, Arkansas High played a thriller at home. Unfortunately, Hot Springs Lakeside won that game, and I was there, and it came down to a missed extra point.
It's funny how that happens.
I mean, you can have a great game all back and forth, and then it comes down to a missed extra point. And it wasn't, not trying to put any fault in anybody. You can't blame it on the kicker. It was one of those situations where it's just a high snap. They'd been kind of having high snaps on the extra points all night long, and I'd been kind of concerned, like, it's going to get them in a minute, it's going to get them. And that one was a little high, and the timing was off, and so the extra point was no good. That was with about 5 minutes to play in the game, and Arkansas High took a 6-point lead over Lakeside, and I turned to my daughter, who is a spotter for me on the PA that I do over there, and I said, that may come back to haunt them. And sure enough, it did, as Hot Springs put on a good drive, got down the field, and made their extra point. But, I mean, it was a great back-and-forth game. Both sides fought to the very end. Arkansas High actually had a chance to pull out a victory there towards the end. They had the ball at midfield with a couple of minutes to go, and they misconnected on a fourth down pass that could have went for a touchdown. So it was that good of a game. I mean, it was exciting. Once again, Braylon Bishop had a good night. Torrey Blair had a good night. Overall, the defense had a good night. It was just an extra point.
Yeah. Well, that's what keeps coaches up at night.
I can imagine.
You know, I'm sure Coach Norton didn't sleep all weekend knowing him.
Yeah.
That's one guy that hates to lose.
Yeah, he hates to lose. And it was an important game for them. But, hey, we'll talk about an even more important game for them in the second half of the program. But you know, entertainment-wise, it was homecoming for the Razorbacks. It was a great night. It just didn't turn out the way they wanted it to. As far as Pleasant Grove is concerned, they went down and just hammered Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you know, we were at Hooks New Boston, but kind of the word I was getting from our insider was that game was over 6 minutes into the football game.
Right.
They played the starters till around halftime, and that was it.
Yeah, Ben Harmon rolled up, I think it was almost 200 yards passing.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're basically a running team most of the time, but when you hear that Pleasant Grove had 200 yards passing and then almost 450 yards total offense, you know that they're going to have a good night.
Oh, yeah. You know, Sergio was Game Day's offensive MVP last week. I think he had like 111 receiving, 2 touchdowns, and I mean, on paper, it looked like everything worked for him.
Yeah, and I did not an over-the-phone interview, but I do an interview back and forth with Coach Gibson each week to put up a story online about them, and he was saying that a lot of different kids got touches on the passes. You know, Ben Harmon lost his go-to guy when Jackson Cobb went down with that season-ending knee injury. That was his go-to guy. Now, he was hitting other people, but when he needed it, big play, Jackson Cobb was his go-to guy, and he lost him. And I think they've been struggling a little bit to find the right go-to guy. And I don't know if they found the go-to guy, but they were kind of like catch by committee last week. I mean, half a dozen people caught passes, including Landon Jackson was catching from tight end.
Well, Sergio is the go-to guy in that,
I guess he is
in that wing tee. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I never really actually got to see Jackson play because he got hurt so early in the season. I didn't see him last year, but, I mean, Sergio's a one receiver. You know, you may walk in the building and not be able to point him out, but trust when he gets on the football field, you do not want to be covering that guy.
Right.
You know, especially with how that wing tee opens up so much just surface area for him to get open. There's just nobody back there guarding him. There's one-on-one coverage. He's very difficult to guard.
Right. I mean, obviously Bruce Garrett and crew had another good night running, and the defense was outstanding again, obviously with a 49-19 victory. And maybe we'll get a chance to talk to Jackson Cobb tonight. He's not going to be back for football, but he is going to be back for baseball. I saw him walking on the field last night over at Pleasant Grove. I went to a middle school game, and he looked like he was walking pretty good. He had the brace off, and he looked like he was walking pretty good. So I think he's making excellent recovery and probably will be ready for baseball. And maybe we'll get a chance to ask him that. But when we come back, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the exciting action that's coming up tonight. You're listening to the Pigskin Report on 103.9, 98.5, and mypigradio.com. Welcome back to the Pigskin Report, brought to you by Investment Housing and Texarkana Game Day. I'm John Williams, alongside from Texarkana Game Day, Morgan Smith. And Morgan, let's look at tonight's action. First of all, let's talk about Liberty Ilo. They are going on the road, and they had a bye last week, so this will actually be their first district game against Longview Spring Hill. And Liberty Ilo's kind of got at least one hand tied behind their back before they even start, because unfortunately they got all those suspensions from that fight that erupted when they played La Vega a couple of weeks ago. And there's going to be a lot of young people playing tonight, a lot of people that don't have a lot of experience, and it's just something that Coach King is going to have to deal with.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this about me. I graduated from Spring Hill.
Did you really?
And their freaking head coach, when I was in high school, was the guy that knocked us out of the playoffs all 3 years I was there. And I just cannot believe they hired him. But he was one heck of a football player, and I can't vouch for him as a football coach. But looking, they're I don't know if they figured out how to win yet. They're a really good football team. I mean, they played Gilmer close. They're playing everybody close. And they won a big game against a top-ranked 3A team, I believe. Coach King is, he's in a weird situation for a head coach tonight. Right. I mean, this season is about the future. He's going to get to see kind of what he has, how they do against some older players, right? Some seasoned opponents. So I mean, it's not all bad for him. I mean, he's going to get to see his future. He's going to get they're going to get experience at a varsity level. So maybe next year when they step out there, it's not the first time. They still do have a really great running back that's not suspended.
Good.
I would love to see them get the, if they win, they're in the playoffs, and this was one game I had them winning. Right. And then I also had them beating Pittsburgh. Yeah. So, everybody's like, well, I had them as that they could be a one-win team getting in the playoffs and be a really good bottom seed.
Oh, sure.
I want them to win tonight. I don't think they can.
It'll be tough with having to play so many younger players. Yeah. I mean, anything's possible, and we're certainly not saying they can't be done. They're going to give it their 110% effort. Well, that's
I tell you what I do like to see. I like to see that a coach made a decision for his program that's best for his program, and it's not all about winning. Right. And in my opinion, he made the right decision. And it may be an unpopular one with some people, not unpopular with me. I support Coach King and whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's his program. We've met him, and we see in him the fact that he is going to be a great leader for that program, and he cares about the kids, he cares about the program, and you got to go with his judgment on it. And I think he's making the right judgment on what he did as far as the suspensions are concerned. And we're not going to get into all the talk about the fights and everything. I just think that it was a two-way street on that. And you get your teammate getting beat up or whatever. You're gonna get in there and protect your teammate, and however you want to look at it. Liberty Ilo is going to be okay, and they're going to be improving as the weeks go along, and it's going to be okay out there. Let's move on to Texas High. Now, they've hit a rough patch there where they've been playing some very, very tough district opponents. They get to play at home tonight against Sherman, and I understand that they're getting their regular quarterback back tonight is what I've heard.
I don't know that to be a fact, but I'm not saying it's not true. I just don't know. I hadn't talked to Coach Stanford about that. I just assumed the other quarterback was playing. Right. But this is a win-get-in kind of game. Sherman is a team they can beat. You look at some of the scores on like opponents; they're all kind of similar. We've talked about how Texas High's defense is is so good.
Right.
You know, they've been giving up a lot of points.
Well, they've been playing a lot of very talented, loaded.
Yeah, and it's going to be. I think it'll be nice for them to play somebody like the Sherman team.
Yeah, and I look for that running back to have a good night for Cooper to have a good night
Cooper's
for Texas
gonna have
High.
a good night every night.
He shows up on the field. Even when they've lost, he's been racking up the yards.
Yeah, and I think Kobe Webster will probably be excited to have the ball, you know, thrown in more catchable places further down the field for him. It's amazing. I mean, you usually talk about a D1 receiver. That guy's just does with whatever he can. You know, if they're having to throw in little out routes, just because that's what's available at the quarterback, they feel confident they can throw, he's still finding a way to get to the end zone. I mean, he is. If Tracy Cooper gets working, look for Kobe Webster to have a really big night.
All right, so we really think that Texas High will kind of right the ship, as they say tonight, and get a win there at home, and that will help them in their possible playoff endeavors. But that is a rough district they play in, no doubt about it. That switch, I think, was made last year where they changed the alignments up, and that's a tough draw for them. They've got a lot of hefty opponents, similar to the fact that Pleasant Grove has a lot of hefty opponents. But Pleasant Grove, of course, is loaded with seniors, loaded with talent. Tonight, they're taking on Gilmer. The last 3 or 4 years since Gibson has been there, it's pretty much been the winner of the Gilmer-Pleasant Grove game is probably going to be your district champion more than likely.
Oh, yeah, they're playing for district championship tonight. You know, Gilmer is a really, really, really good team. I mean, they played Carthage closer than Pleasant Grove did.
Right.
But if you were at the Pleasant Grove game, you know, you can't really say. And plus, Coach Surratt told me, I mean, they played the worst football game they could have played against Gilmer.
Right.
But I mean, it's going to kind of be exciting to see. It doesn't have that Carthage feel to it, but I think this is a game everybody expects PG to win. There's not that unknown there. But Gilmer's a great football team. It's going to be a really good football game. Yeah,
I could be wrong. I think this is going to be one of those that goes down to the last minute, and whoever has the ball, because Gilmer and Pleasant Grove are going to play close games. They've been, even when Pleasant Grove was not that as good as they are now. When Gibson first got there, they played close games. Gilmer usually pulled it out at the end or whatever, because they kind of had that over Pleasant Grove until Pleasant Grove beat them 2 years ago and changed the way it went. But they're going to have a close game, I think.
Gilmer, for the first time in a while, they have a really good defense. A really good defense. Most of their athletes are on defense. They have a good offense as well, but they're just not as explosive as we're used to. But they have some guys that can get up top too and throw the ball deep, and we saw, that was a soft spot during the Carthage game for Pleasant Grove. Right. That's really kind of, what was the difference in that football game. I just don't see that being as big of a difference tonight. I think it's close at halftime. Third quarter, you're doubting Gilmer can come back, and fourth quarter, it's over.
I think you may be right. I hope you're right. And to me, and you can tell me if you think I'm wrong, but Pleasant Grove's got a great defense. They got Landon Jackson. I love Landon Jackson. They got Bruce Garrett. I love Bruce Garrett. They got a lot of weapons. But to me, Pleasant Grove goes right now as Ben Harmon goes. And if Ben Harmon is on with his passes and his receivers if Ben Harmon's on, Pleasant Grove wins.
I mean, that's every week. That's one guy you don't want to lose.
Right.
They'll have Nick Martin back tonight.
That's right. They're getting Jamie Lewis.
Back so it'll kind of be exciting for them. But back on Ben Harmon, that is just one guy you do not want to lose on your football team, because
he's all heart. He's a gamer.
Well, he's a winner. I mean, more than anything else. I mean, when you talk about this senior class at Pleasant Grove, I mean, they are winners. And most of their times in varsity, I think they've lost 4 football games now.
Yeah,
in 3 years.
Yeah. My son played on that team the year that they went undefeated, and he had a knee injury, and so he gave up football and just concentrates on baseball now. But from the 7th grade on, we were watching Ben Harmon and Bruce Garrett and all those guys that are on that team that are seniors now. They were one play away from being undefeated in 7th grade. I don't think they lost a game in 8th grade. If they did, I don't remember it. And then he moved up to the varsity team. That whole group, led by Ben Harmon, are just plain winners.
Yeah.
From 7th grade on.
Yeah. It's going to be kind of sad to see them go.
Yeah, it is going to be very sad.
I'll tell you one thing, they're going to have a stout defense next year.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
They're still leaving some stuff on the plate, for sure. One more game to talk about, Arkansas High at Little Rock McClellan tonight. Since the loss to Lakeside last week, this is a huge game for Arkansas High. It was going to be big anyway because McClellan, Arkansas High, and Camden Fairview were kind of seen as the favorites going into the season, and nothing's really changed. It's kind of a scrum, kind of a mess in that conference now because everybody's got a loss. But this is a huge one for Arkansas High. If they win tonight, win next week against Hot Springs, they're going to be in a good position to take the number 1 seed, and that means more home playoff games. If they lose tonight, then they're going to have to pretty much win out to get at least a 2nd seed, and that gives you some home games too. But it's critical for Arkansas High tonight to go on the road to McClellan and win that game so they can have maybe home seeds in the playoff.
Coach Norton, he's going to have everything he has in him out there. And I saw him last week before that game, and we happened to be at the same place, and, man, you can just see it. You know, that guy is as intense as it gets. And, you know, he's a great football coach. What do we know about all great football coaches? They hate losing, and he probably went home and was just like, I can't believe
we lost that
we lost on a snap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll have it all right. I mean, I just can't think of a scenario where he's not going to have his team ready to play.
Well, Braylon Bishop
continues
to improve each week, and we talked about the fact that he was going to do that, being the young star, the baseball player, not used to being quarterback, used to being throwing pitches, that the more comfortable he got, the better he was going to get. And I saw it last week, and it's been coming on. I think he will continue to improve as each week goes along. They've got 2 good running backs. They've got a defense that can get takeaways. I think, like you said, Coach Norton probably went home and was like, "Urgh!" And I guarantee, I just feel like they're going to find a way to go to Little Rock McClellan tonight and get that victory they need.
Man, I hope they do. I want to see that team do really well. I wasn't aware till right now they had home playoff games in Arkansas.
Yes,
I thought it was just a neutral site.
No, it is home. It is seeded, and you like if you're the number 1 seed, if you win your conference, you could potentially play all your playoff games at home until the championship game. So it is extremely important,
I would say,
to try to win that game and win the conference and get to play at home. You don't want to go on the road. I used to take road trips with them. One year we went up to Blytheville, Arkansas, and you know where that's at. That's up near Missouri.
I have no idea where that's at.
Yeah, it's northeastern corner of Arkansas, as far as you can get in just about. And you don't want to do that. So, yeah, it's very important to win. I think they'll find a way to win tonight. So we encourage everyone to get out and support your favorite team, your favorite local team, all the area teams, and good luck to those teams. Thanks, Morgan, for coming in and joining us.
Before we go, I want to give a shout out to Hooks, Texas.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for the hospitality last week, man. It was
you did Hooksy Boston, right?
Yeah, it was a big deal, and they showed us a lot of love out there.
All right, well, good, and they're playing well.
Yeah,
playing well. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this week's edition. Join us again next Friday afternoon and Friday evening around 5:40 for more Pigskin Report, brought to you by Investment Housing and Texarkana Game Day. And for Morgan Smith, I'm John Williams on the Pig.
We are here from Tiger Stadium at Craig Jenkins Field, and I have Billy Lavender to my left, Craig Jenkins to my right, and a unranked roofer coming out 2019,
Definitely
Tony
last
Langford.
place.
Tony, what do you have to say for yourself?
It sucks being number 2.
Well, according to a very reliable source in town, you weren't even in the top 5. You have fell off from number 1 the past 10 years in a row to unranked.
to being referred 10-1 every single day.
I don't know.
Unranked.
I'm just stating what the news media is bringing out for us.
Don't listen to the haters.
Man, can y'all believe it's week 8?
Man,
Going by fast.
It has flown by.
Flown by.
So we're obviously at Texas High tonight. This Sherman team, they got a pretty big team.
Yeah, I think we'll match up well with them though tonight.
Real balanced football team, just like Texas High is.
Yeah, and just for clarification, it is not Craig Jenkins Field. There's nothing named after Craig Jenkins.
Couple more years.
when football is involved in it.
You have to have left the game for at least 20 years.
We'll
See his name when you go in the restroom.
Because of that 7-yard kick return.
Y'all don't start.
You know?
Oh, man. That was on this side of the field, too, wasn't it,
Yeah,
Craig?
I was actually down there.
We have to
last
listen to
night.
Craig all the time talk about how great he was and this and that. We've been asking for film, and the only film he's produced
is a 7-yard punt return.
That was pretty impressive, though.
I mean, yeah, it caught it, ran 7 yards. The first person that arm tackled him, he went down.
I thought he just fell down.
Well, they were punting from the 40, so I did a good job to even catch it so fearlessly.
Yes.
Billy, tell us about practice this week. I know you hadn't missed one, probably.
Yeah, I hadn't missed one. It seems to be that they've gotten some people back, and that there's a little bit more swag in the practice. There's a little bit more fire, pizzazz, and I think they come out and they really try to put it on them early. Is what I think. It's been slow the last several weeks and really gotten behind, and so I think they'll come out tough and hard tonight.
They had a tough week last week, playing one of the top running backs in the country.
Man, I'm going to tell you, I sent you a few videos. He was special. It's hard to watch someone like that against your team, but you come to appreciate someone that when he was here last year, we had heard a lot about him, but he didn't really show out. And heck, he only touched the ball like 10 times or something. But if you watched him when he didn't touch the ball, 8, 10, 15, 20 yards downfield, he's going down there blocking as hard as he can. You could just tell he's a D1 guy.
I was talking to him about his footwork. I was like, he's legit. I mean, just watching him on film, he can get in that hole, get out of that hole, and once he gets outside, you can wrap it up.
I mean, like the video you sent me, you're special whenever you have 7 guys around the football and nobody's out of position, and the guy goes untouched.
There's D1 athletes, and then there's D1 athletes.
Yeah. He reminded me a lot of that guy against Pleasant Grove in the finals.
Whittington?
Yeah. I mean,
Monster.
just I talked to a couple people, and I said,
Jim.
man, I think he was a lot better than that. And they said, nah, I mean, that guy was special. But I mean, he was one of those guys that you could tell was just unmatched on the field.
Craig, what do you look to see from Texas High tonight?
Like Billy was saying, that the team, they faced a little adversity. Now they're kind of trying to get the kinks worked out because they moved up a quarterback to replace another quarterback. So it's going to take him a couple of weeks to get locked in. So now I think he's starting to feel a little bit more confident, and they'll get him worked in.
It was tough. Brayson McHenry, the sophomore, came up from the JV, and let me tell you something, he's going to be a stud. But I mean, he's thrown in a tough spot. Came in that week, kind of unannounced, and going up against another 2 D1 guys in the secondary for John Tyler, and they've been shutting people out and stuff. And I mean, it was tough, and they knew we had no threat of pulling it and running, and so I mean that's what Sellers gives us being back.
That's hard to do on a week's notice period.
Yeah, goodness,
So Sellers is back this week.
He's back. He's back.
That's going to really be a big time dynamic for this offense.
No doubt. And I think we, just from seeing some film on Sherman, I think we can run on them, and I think having him as an option to pull it out, because everybody else was stacking the box against us, and we really couldn't do anything. It allowed us, and they were playing us man on the edge, and we just weren't getting open. But I think tonight we come out and try to establish the run and try to run Sellers a little bit.
Get them back at the right time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if Tracy gets going, it's going to be exciting to see what Kobe Webster does tonight.
I think that's the biggest difference. I think with Sellers on the field, it helps Tracy a lot.
It helps everybody. It helps Kobe. It helps, I mean,
it makes those players play disciplined football.
That's right.
It's no just flying to the ball, like Billy said, when he can pull it and take off with it.
Let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. We'll talk about past week's games and what we're looking for from them this week. We'll be right back.
Find yourself in need of emergency care, come see us at Texarkana Emergency Center. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We are locally owned with board-certified physicians for all your emergencies. We accept all private insurance. At Texarkana Emergency Center, we have on-site lab, pharmacy, x-ray, ultrasound, and CT. Come see us at Texarkana Emergency Center. Real ER without the wait. The next generation of emergency care.
Okay. Let's see, Nick. Okay. Okay. All right, let's switch code. That makes more sense.
We are back from Tiger Stadium. We have the tennis team with us. Y'all, I'm assuming he was exaggerating because Stanford's they've won 40 straight district championships. Can't be true. Is that true?
We've actually, in the spring, we've got 35 spring team championships, and we've won probably 29 of the last 30 in the fall as well.
Wow.
So, yes, sir.
It's not only that they're winning; they're dominating. You'll look at the scores, and it's not that they've won, 10 and lost 5 or what. I mean, they're winning 10-0, 10-0, 10-0, and most of those sets are 6-1, 6-2, 6-0.
I picked it on your indoor facility the other day. That's really nice. I'm assuming that's not something that everybody has.
We're very fortunate. We have one of the best facilities really in this part of the state. Very few facilities school districts have what we have. So we're very fortunate.
So tell me about your players here.
All right, we got two junior girls here, Reagan Potts, Janie Rounds.
I knew you looked familiar. All right. I'm buddies with her dad. I just don't see her that often.
And we have two senior boys, Nick Mitchell, Walker Tripp. And we have Rhett Young sneaking back. He's back there behind. He's a junior.
So when does tennis season start? I'm not a huge tennis fan, but
we're all year pretty much.
I mean,
we kick into gear in August, and we run till late October, early November, and then we kick up again in January and go till May. So we have 2 seasons.
So is district fall? Or
we have a team. Fall is team tennis, and then the spring is individual. So we have a district in both fall and spring.
All right. So the ladies I see at Northridge all the time every morning. Tennis is all year.
and Coach, talk about the youth in your program. I mean, you keep building, and
we're very fortunate. We have a great balance this year. We have a lot of incoming freshmen that are really contributing, and these two girls are the only juniors on the girls team and they're doing a great job of leading. But these girls have really stepped in. We're really experienced on the guys' side. We have a great balance this year. Good, we have a unique team this year. We have a lot of senior boys, but freshman girls that have really stepped up.
So are y'all traveling to the Dallas area, similar to the football team does?
Yeah, to get the best competition we face is in the Metroplex. I mean, that's who we're going to probably run into next week.
Really? Are you a junior?
Yes.
Right.
Junior.
Okay. How's this year been for you?
It's been really good. Most of the girls' team is freshmen, and so it's really exciting getting to see them have all the new experience and everything of the year.
Who's a better tennis player, your dad or your mom?
Probably my dad.
Is Chris bad at anything? Is this guy bad at anything? I know he's bad at golf. Chris Potts is not a good golfer. But I'm not either, so I shouldn't be talking. I can't find anything else he's bad at.
What do y'all have? Who do y'all have next? I know y'all played today, right?
Right. We played Corsicana in the area match today and beat them 10-0. And we play Tuesday. We played Midlothian, who we've played twice already this fall. We'll play them in the regional quarterfinals. And if we get by them, then we'll play,
that's
Highland Park.
Highland Park. That's the test, right? That's the test.
That's the test.
Hey, this is the year.
I don't know how many years.
This is the year.
Is Highland Park the one?
Yeah.
I can see Highland Park.
We always run into them, and they kind of. But we're gonna give it all. I know these kids are gonna give it all they have, and that's all I ask. Lay it out there on the court.
Where y'all playing at Tuesday?
Well, Tuesday we play in Sulphur Springs, kind of a halfway point between Midlothian and
okay.
Got a chance to play here last week, right?
We did. We actually played John Tyler last week because of the rain in Sulphur. So we got to play John Tyler on our courts, which was nice. Of course, it was on 3 indoor courts.
Right. So it took a little while, right?
It did.
I'm going to have to make me a tennis match.
Yeah.
I've never been to a tennis match.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. Just kind of watch it on TV every now and then.
Yeah, you got to come check
all right.
These kids out.
And you got any racket throwers in here?
Oh, no. Not in this bunch.
Yeah, I was like,
they didn't make the set.
We have a few, just not in this bunch.
Right. So, what does the spring look like? So I'm assuming state would be in the fall.
Well, yeah. It's team tennis in the fall. So you have district, and then you move on to regionals, and the top team in the region goes to state. In the spring, it's an individual. Each player plays in one event, singles or doubles. Okay, and they advance. Top 2 teams in each division go to regionals. And then the top 2 in the regionals go to state.
Okay.
Yeah,
and Coach, I hear all the time that y'all play challenge matches a lot, don't you? Is that something that everybody does, or I mean, a lot of different teams, or is it?
We're actually pretty unique in that area.
Okay.
You know, we really, I think these matches. I'm gonna have Nick speak on this for a second here, but these kids aren't too psyched about challenge matches every week. But we really feel like with some of the teams that we face in the fall, which we kind of run over a little bit, sometimes our best competition against ourselves. Okay, so we can speak on that a little bit.
Challenge matches, obviously, you don't like playing your friends every week.
Yeah.
But when we play district, a lot of these teams really aren't as strong, and we play these Dallas teams that are really good. So to prepare for these Dallas teams and some of the teams we meet in regionals, we've got to play each other because our best competition is ourselves.
Yeah.
So I think honestly, it helps to have teammates critique what you're doing wrong. It helps every week to just get stronger, and it motivates you to keep fighting every week. So I think it's unique, and it really helps the team.
Yeah.
Huh. Hold on that thought 1 second. Let's go to Hannah real quick, and we will be right back. Just a second. She's going to interview real quick.
Go around. What are your guys' names?
Tate Stanford.
We have Tate, Caleb,
Eli.
and Eli. Thanks, guys, for talking with me. Real quick, I have a question for you. Who's going to win tonight?
Texas High.
Texas High.
Texas High.
For sure, Texas High. So, guys, what's your favorite part about being out here watching the team? And you guys, you said you were in 6th grade? Fourth grade, okay. What's your favorite part about being out here tonight?
I like watching the team play.
Watching the team play. Who's your favorite player? Do you have any players you know out there?
Sellers.
Who?
Sellers.
Sellers is your favorite player? He's cool to watch, huh? All right, well, thank you guys, and back to you, Morgan.
Back. So we were talking a little bit about individual performances, and you have a guy that's been to state 2 out of the last 4 years. That's
right.
Big time.
That's right. Yeah, he's part of a regional. He won regionals last year against the Highland Park team, and he had to beat Highland Park in the regional finals to get to state. So that's a great accomplishment.
Huge.
On any day.
So if you win Tuesday, which all signs look like you will, you have to turn right around and play Thursday.
That's right. We have to, and we'll be traveling on Wednesday. So we'll travel on Wednesday, and we'll play 9 o'clock on Thursday morning against Highland Park in Allen.
So they just act like it must not be tiring to play tennis.
Well, it's like,
I put it in the same category as golf, I guess. I don't want to play tennis.
And they have to be good students too, because y'all miss a lot of school.
You have to really be on top of it. You know, otherwise you get behind it really quickly. And so we always tell the kids to make sure you take care of your business before you leave. So
yeah,
it can really add up.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to make a tennis match now. Definitely. I had no plans on it, but I didn't know Potts' daughter was on the team or anything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So will y'all play at home again this year, or will it be spring?
It'd be spring before we actually not in this. We're almost gone every week in the spring. Normally we host district in the spring, but it's in Sulphur Springs this year, so we won't get to host it this year. So we're gone pretty much all spring. So.
Yeah.
But you can come to the Metroplex and catch us a lot, you know.
Might not do that.
Game day on the road.
When y'all have someone at home, invite me.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
Definitely.
Hit it back, and they hit it back again. I don't know what a great one is, but I'll be good. But I'll bring Billy with me.
There you go.
Billy knows about everything.
I can talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Billy knows so much stuff. He knows a lot about a lot of
Jack
things.
of all trades.
Yeah,
that's right.
I did that golf tournament Saturday. And I'm like,
you did a great job.
I can't talk loud or nothing. No, hey, what I did was I hired 4 professional. Not hired. They didn't do it. I didn't get paid. But 4 professional golfers to talk about it. I just sat there.
That's the way to do it.
Anyways, hey, we appreciate y'all coming on. Best of luck Tuesday and hopefully Thursday.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back after this break.
Thank you.
Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful, handcrafted stone is our passion, and we ensure our customers receive the quality they deserve. We stand by our word, we stand by our products, services, and work that we do. Our team of experienced craftsmen and product experts have been perfecting their craft of fabricating and installing stone since 1998. Visit the Design Center at Red River Lumber to see the many beautiful stone options available for your next project.
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is the kind of person you need. Express Employment Professionals can help because we understand what it takes to hire good people. It takes real people, real interviews. We find good people, matching the right skills for the right jobs. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
Is your business the best that it can be? Let us take it to the next level with our wide range of professional services.
Media management, digital marketing,
promotional items,
geofencing,
artwork, and videography.
Let us help you be seen. We are
TXK Marketing.
We are TXK Marketing.
If you're looking for authentic Cajun-style meats prepared and ready to cook and take home, look no further than Lanyard Specialty Meats. We here at Lanyard Specialty Meats select nothing but premium meats, and we season it to perfection so that you'll have all of Acadiana flavor here in your own home. Come by Lanyard Specialty Meats for all your tailgating needs for this football season or hunting season. Remember, Lanyard Specialty Meats.
Lanyards is an official sponsor and proud supporter of Texarkana Game Day.
Tony, we are back from Tiger Stadium. We have Kelly Ashbrook with us. The biggest smile in Texarkana is what I've always said. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing,
Good.
Morgan?
I'm as good as I can be.
I'm sporting my orange and black and white today.
Awesome.
Yeah, Tiger today and game tonight.
Kelly sponsors our play of the week. And did you see the one last week with Falk with the scoop and the sack and the scoop and score and all that?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hopefully we'll get a play of the week out of here tonight.
That's what I'm talking
They have
about.
starting quarterback back, Tracy Cooper, multiple MVP winner for Texarkana Game Day, Jalen Green on defense.
Be lots
Clayton.
of highlights
Oh,
tonight.
yeah. I'm
Lots
excited
of
to be here,
highlights.
man.
Yeah.
Weather's good, feels good.
Oh, my gosh.
Actually feels like football finally.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
weather, it's great.
It's the best so far.
Well, since you're here, let's ask you a question. Craig's scared he's going to get dropped by State Farm because he keeps getting a C and D from this State Farm app.
He's used to C's and D's.
Hey, you know, it's nothing but a discount right now. You just bring those C's up, bring the D up a little bit.
It's hard. Texarkana makes you fail.
No pass, no play. Is that what it is?
Easy turns, drive safe and safe.
I'll work on it.
He had trouble getting C's in school, and now that he's out, he's driving. I mean, we're going to see him on Cheers and Cheers with these C's and D's, but let's do this real quick. Let's go to Hannah, and we'll be right back.
All right. Is that all we do?
Here with Texarkana Game Day. It's Hannah here with Texarkana Game Day. I've got Tyler Harris to my right. Tyler, are you excited about tonight's game?
Yeah, super excited.
So you were telling me you play on what team?
I played JV last night.
JV, can you tell me a little bit about last night's game?
We won 27-14, and I mean we blitzed a lot and just kind of stayed on them all night, so it was good.
Good game. All right. Well, going into the next game or future games, what did Coach say? Adjustments did he make?
Well, he pretty much said we need to focus more at practice and work harder during the week, and then that makes us do better on Fridays.
Good deal. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Tyler. Back to you, Morgan.
We are back from Tiger Stadium, and Hannah looks like she just got done with a great interview. Kelly, tell me, you've been to several Texas High games this year. This is our first one we've been able to make.
You know what's extra special about this one, besides it being the Sherman Bears, are the high stepper little girls.
I heard somebody's messaged me about that. Yeah.
I've got a 4th grader little girl that's going to perform tonight with the high steppers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an extra special game tonight.
I didn't know Alex was a high stepper.
Well, she's hopefully a future high stepper. We'll
Oh
see.
yeah. I saw a little girl dressed out. Are they dressed just like them?
No, they've got T-shirts on.
All right. I saw. You see that little girl earlier was dressed.
I didn't see her. I think my daughter was supposed to be in something today, but she didn't show up. So
Yeah, so maybe that could even be one of the little plays of the week tonight.
Hey, you pay for it, Kelly. We'll do whatever you want. somebody get a camera on the little high steppers. Kelly's paying big money. Sponsored by Kelly Ashbrook,
Morgan
State Farm. I know Kelly's cheap. I'm just kidding. We all know that's not true.
Too cheap. I see your stuff everywhere.
They say quality is remembered long after price is forgotten.
Absolutely.
You know?
What did you just say?
I said quality is remembered long after price is forgotten, Morgan.
Wow.
It's all about quality. Do you see the State Farm logo? That's quality.
Hold on. That's quantity. Do you see this game day logo? I pay like $10 for this thing every time I put it on something. I don't know if it's worth that, but it's high quality.
It's quality.
We gotta have you on more often. Kelly was her husband was the very first person I met in Texarkana, and Kelly was the second, and we've just been friends ever since.
Our babies were like best friends since 2 years old, and yeah.
I just want to know how you got here on time tonight. Anybody that knows Kelly knows she cannot be on time. She was early.
I was fibbing to myself, and so I said be here by 5:45, so 6 o'clock it was.
Well, I told Jennifer you were coming on like 6:15. I told Jennifer to tell you 6.
She did.
Well, she knew she was going on camera. You know, she likes
That's what it was. That's what it was. That's how you get her to show up on time?
Yeah.
He's the smart one.
That's funny. So how's everything going on your end? You have your branch in Atlanta and still in Texarkana. You got to be spread pretty thin.
Well, I've got an excellent crew. I mean, my team, they're way better than I could ever be by myself alone, you know? I mean, you've got Carmen, you got Holly, you got Nancy, Joe, who speaks Spanish, you know, Kim, Kirby, Patty's coming on. So we've got an amazing crew. There's no way I could do what we do without those guys.
Yeah. Well, Atlanta seems like a pretty, from a small town girl going to Atlanta, it seems like a perfect fit for you.
You know what? Atlanta reminds me so much of Prescott, Arkansas. It's so funny. The Texas side, they're both maroon and white. You got the curly wolves and the rabbits. You know, don't you laugh at my
Every time
curly
she
wolves?
says that, I'm like, they're called what?
You look at their stats. I'm sure you can't, you just, curly wolf. You can't beat a curly wolf.
What is a curly wolf?
Okay, I'm so glad you asked. They're out for vengeance and victory, and that's what it means. It's not just a regular wolf. They're
Somebody Google this career
True
football
story.
wins and losses in Prescott. Curly wolf. It's kind of like the Henderson State Reddies.
Yeah.
What is a Reddy?
I don't
spirit.
know. That's
It's a
where my
spirit.
kid goes, but it went, but I have no idea what it is. So.
I think it's a spirit. I was a Wichita Tiger, so
See a tiger tonight.
that's right.
My
Tiger.
son bought me the shirt, and I said, man, I don't even know what that is, man.
Somehow Kelly came on here and the entire 9 minutes didn't say one thing about football.
Hey, I do have a Reddy story.
Okay.
You were ready. I was at Washita, and I cheered my freshman year at Washita. So me and several of the cheerleaders got in my car, and we went across the street, and I had my purple Kool-Aid. I was going to put it in that Reddy fountain. And the police officer was from Prescott. He's like, Ashford, what are you doing? I was like, oh. He said, get back across the road.
Kelly doing something she's not supposed to. I just can't believe it.
It's very rare. Very rare.
All right, Kelly. Appreciate you coming on. If you want, come back for the halftime show.
Okay.
I need some more of you.
All right. Thank you for having
Let's
me.
go to commercial. We'll be right back.
Texarkana here with Texarkana Game Day. I'm on the sidelines with the Texas High trainers, Alicia and Candace. Can you tell me a little bit about what you guys do here on the sidelines?
On the sidelines, we usually give out water, and then during the half times, during the half times, we usually fill it up and then look after whoever's injured or
Okay, awesome. And then we have water right here, staying hydrated. Do you plan on taking a career? You said you're a senior.
Yes, ma'am.
In sports medicine?
I'm currently thinking about it, but I'm more into surgery and medical. Well, definitely medical, but doctor-wise, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys, and I know where to come if I get thirsty. Stay hydrated, so thank you. Back to you, Morgan.
Oh, I thought we were live.
I told you.
I've been sitting here talking. I thought we were live.
No, we weren't.
Okay. What were we talking about for the last 35
That's the best
seconds?
content we've had.
I know.
It was Hooks, New Boston, Morgan.
Let's talk about some area games. I had a great time at Hooks last week versus New Boston. We've been sitting here talking for a minute. Thought we were on camera. Anyway, Devarius Clark, the Estelle kid from Hooks.
Yeah.
I mean, all it takes kind of at that level, you have 2 or 3 just studs, and you're tough to beat.
Long line of Estelle kids there, and good kids, and one of them's playing at Texas right now. But yeah, they've got some athletes, man, and New Boston just can't get over that edge. I got a couple of guys that I've coached in baseball playing for them, and they just can't get over the hump, but they will.
Yeah. I think they had the talent though. They just hadn't put it together yet.
Yeah, they were moving the ball. They just couldn't finish. Their coach said several times, he likes to throw the ball, but he's adapting to what he has, and they're going wing T, and they're winning at every level except for the varsity level right now. I mean, everything he has coming up is winners.
Sometimes it takes the heart. You can have all the talent in the world, but you've got to have that heart to bring it together. So hopefully they can get that heart and bring it together.
Like Craig said earlier, I was expecting a lot more out of New Boston. I thought it was going to be a competitive game. In fact, Craig picked them to win. So
I did.
I know.
Craig, you did.
I thought I picked Hooks.
All he remembers is that interception.
It goes against your record, Craig.
I think I picked Hooks.
No.
You said, and I think I'm going to quote you. You know what? I'm going to go cut this out of film from last week and put it. Craig's like, I'm calling the upset. Big win, New Boston.
I didn't say big win.
You did too.
I said I called the upset.
Yeah. Well, you lost.
On tape, New Boston looked really good.
I agree, though. I agree. I thought it was going to be a really close game.
Yeah. I mean, Devarius Clark, another level for that area.
Yeah. Not only is he fast, he's a big kid.
Yeah.
I mean, standing beside him, I was like, wow, that's a big old boy.
Yeah.
How big is he?
For a running back, Tracy Cooper, I would consider a pretty big running back. And Tracy's what? A couple 100 pounds?
Yeah.
6'2".
6'2".
Yeah. I mean, just built like a running back. And he's not probably as heavy as Cooper, but he's not playing against the same size players either, so he stands out more.
He runs up right, kind of like Eric Dickerson. He was straight up and down.
Let's move it to I can't have a show, Kelly, without talking about my Longview Lobos.
Oh, Longview.
Yeah. They're playing Rockwall's coming to Longview. They're expecting to sell out the stadium again.
You going?
No, I'm going to be here tonight. But I just want to remind y'all, Longview has not won a district game. Has not lost a district game.
Wow.
Confirmed. I've been talking about this all season. Since 2001.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I've not lost a district since 2001. That is crazy.
So either Longview's good or that district sucks down there.
I'm sorry. It was at one time it was the both teams won the state championship out of that district before they went to Division I, Division II. Yeah. When they had big and small.
Which one's the other?
John Tyler. Tyler Lee back in the day.
Longest winning streak right now, don't they?
Yeah, Longview has the longest winning streak in the state of Texas, which tonight's win will be 36 games.
Gilmore helped them out with that.
We scrimmage them every year, and I mean it's a different. They'll have 85, 90 kids out there, and most times you get those starters, and some people we play got those big guys, but they've got it. They've got depth, and I mean, I'm talking about 300-pound depth, and they got a bunch of.
Longview will never have a shortage of athletes. One thing they haven't had up until the last few years is a great quarterback.
That's what you call culture. That's a culture that sounds like it's history. It's rich. The kids know what the expectations are. Yeah. That's awesome.
You grow up wanting to be a Lobo.
Long tradition of great athletes.
I tell a funny story I like to tell people. When I was a freshman at Longview, there was over 120 kids. We had 4 football teams freshmen, and when the grades came out, we had 26 players. But
At King Kid.
So
we weren't very good after that.
Weeks? You only played for the first 6 weeks?
It wasn't the best 26. We'll say that. Got a lot of playing time when that happened.
Their QB's special.
Oh, yeah. Haynes King
Special.
at quarterback. He'll be playing at A&M. He was recently ranked the top quarterback in the country.
Dual threat. Yeah. At A&M. That's awesome.
As a dual threat quarterback.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So obviously I'm picking Longview tonight in a big win. Rockwall just doesn't have the horses.
I agree.
That Longview
I'm going to
has.
take Rockwall just to hate.
Okay.
Picking up.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I just have to pick it.
All right,
Morgan.
Kelly, our real talent's here. Our professional talent is now in the building.
Thank you for letting me sit in. I appreciate y'all having me tonight. This was fun.
All right, it was fun, Kelly. Let's go to Hannah, and let's get you back halftime.
Okay.
I'm going to let you have my spot for halftime.
No way. But I would like to join you. Okay. All right, seriously, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Hannah here with Texarkana Game Day. I'm here with the Texas High Steppers and Madison captain. Madison, can you tell me a little bit about what's going on tonight?
Yeah, so tonight we're performing with our younger girls. This past Sunday they came out and did a clinic with us, and we taught them a dance, and so they're coming out to perform it in front of all their friends and family, and like right before the game.
So is Alex, are you performing tonight as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Alex, what grade are you in?
I'm in the 4th grade.
4th grade in what school?
Morris Elementary.
Morris Elementary. Are you excited to go out and perform on the field with the High Steppers?
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Well, y'all are about to go out on the field? Okay. Yeah. Well, good luck, and we'll see you out there.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, back to you, Morgan.
We are back, and we have a professional with us tonight. Oh, man, Chuck from 107.9 just recently moved CBS Sports.
Yeah, brand new deal.
How exciting is that for you?
The Fan, that's right, The Fan.
This you can watch them on Facebook or on 107.9 Leaving the Yard. You have a show 5 to 6 Monday through Friday.
Every Monday through Friday.
Yeah, gotta love it. Also, the voice of the Eagles.
Voice of Texas A&M Eagles. Yeah, looking very forward to Texas. I better make that right. Texas A&M Texarkana Eagles. Don't want to say that, but yes, we're looking forward to the first basketball game in about 2 weeks, and in fact, I'm doing a soccer game tomorrow night.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We were kind of in the middle of some area games. We had talked about my Lobos, but we're going to move to another Longview team. LE's playing Spring Hill. And I've been saying all year LE's going to make the playoffs, LE's going to make the playoffs. But they're without most of their starters tonight. Spring Hill went off and hired, like when I was there, we would lose to Gladewater every year. Their quarterback was just ridiculously good, and they hired this guy at Spring Hill. I couldn't believe it. But he's turned out to be a great hire, Johnny Levere, if you remember him. And they're like right on the brink of beating everybody. They just haven't. I would love to pick LE tonight. I just don't. With most of their starters out, they do have their running back still in, but
I think they'll rally. They'll rally the troops. I just don't think that they have what it takes. Spring Hill has improved a whole lot.
Are both of their running backs out?
One of them are.
As long as they've got Corbin White, they've got a shot.
And that's who's in. Yeah,
he's in.
Yeah, because that kid's phenomenal.
So he gives them a chance, but I really like the coach over at LE. I think he's doing the right thing. I think he's turning that program. He's going to turn it around, and I'm excited to see where they're going to go.
He kind of got thrown to the wolves this year. That's that's a rough first.
I heard y'all make a joke, and I've been using. I straight up stole it from you, but y'all were like. You said, who's LE playing? And Tony was like, I think they're playing the 49ers.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like every week, it's like, my God. They can't wait to get to district.
And then you get this.
Yeah.
Here you finally get to district, and then you've got the remnants of that fight from a couple of weeks ago. I like Spring Hill a lot. I think they've been one of those teams, been a pretty good team in a really tough district for the last couple of years. They've been itching to get in the playoffs. I think this is their chance to get in the playoffs. I think they smell a leopard team that's wounded. I hate to pick. Clint King did the right thing, the hard thing this week. He did the right thing. It'll be a right thing for his program long term. But I don't think they win this week.
Because football is not the most important thing when it comes down to
it. He needed to do
I will say I would have picked LE by at least a touchdown if their starters weren't out. I'm going to pick Spring Hill only because of that.
Yeah. I hate it for Coach King, but this is a district where it's one win and you're in, basically, right?
Yes, that's right.
So, I do think they can beat Pittsburgh, and they'll play them here soon. But at least, some of his younger players are going to get some playing time. let's move it over to Gilmer at PG. Tony, you said earlier this year, and I quote, as I went back and looked, I'm not betting against Gilmer.
No, that was actually Carthage. That was Carthage.
Was that Carthage?
That was Carthage.
All right, I need to go back and look, if I'm being honest.
Betting against Gilmer.
But I will say this right here. I think it's going to be a really close game. I think Gilmer's defense is better than it usually is. I think Pleasant Grove is going to win, but I think it's going to be a one-touchdown game.
I think it's going to be a really close game as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be close to the second half, and I think PG pulls away. They got a few starters returning this week on defense too, right? And
Jamie Lewis is back. That's going to help the run.
Nick Martin didn't play last week, which wouldn't have mattered, but no respect to Dick. It was a blowout. He wouldn't have played much anyway.
It'll matter this week.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Gilmer's not going to get blown out by anybody. Yeah. I mean, nobody. They had a chance to beat Carthage. You hear anybody that was at that game and like one fumble goes their way and they have a chance to win.
Well, I got to give props because last time I was on set, we talked about Gilmer and Newton, and I had said Newton.
I was crazy on that.
No, but looking back at it, you were right on target on this. There's a lot at stake for Gilmer this week. I really believe. I can't remember the last time a Gilmer team's lost to the same team in its district 3 times in a row. They've done that already with PG. They haven't come to PG in this 3-game losing streak. I really believe this is one of those games you don't have to get Gilmer kids up this week. If they're not ready for this, and not just they're looking at their coach, but they're looking at their uncles and they're looking at their dads who have come through this program and who are seeing you've been beaten by the same team 3 times. I'm telling you, I like PG. They're the best team in the state in 4A Division II. But I'm a little scared by tonight. I really am. I think this is like Dangerfield.
Absolutely.
That there's a family thing going on here for these kids, and there's a lot of pride on the line tonight.
There's a lot of pride in
You're not kidding.
I had people calling me Tuesday asking me if I had tickets to this game. I'm like, what? You get people from Gilmer. I'm like, what do you mean we have tickets?
You're the game day guy. You get all the tickets.
People just assume we have tickets. I'm like, I don't have any tickets. I guess show up early, but evidently there's going to be a lot of people there.
I would think. I'm guessing 5,000.
Wow.
Just to piggyback off what Chuck said, it seems like you don't have to get Gilmer pumped up to play a big game. It seems like when they play those big teams, they're definitely going to show up and do what they have to do.
Connor Stanfield today was actually awarded from Dave Campbell Magazine, and I think it was called the Unsung Hero Award for the community work he does. Just 5 people in the state every year.
That's pretty cool.
Well, Connor makes great grades. He works real hard, and he is probably the most underrated player on the team. Yeah. He gets out there and he plays hard every down. I mean, he pancakes people and probably don't get the recognition.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to
Great family.
Tiger Stadium at Grand Park for tonight's contest between the Sherman
let's talk Arkansas High.
And your
They're playing a Little Rock team.
McClellan.
Yeah, that's one of these ones from my understanding that another one, if they win, can end up yielding them home field advantage in playoffs, which I didn't even know that was a thing recently on the Arkansas side. I guess Texas just tries to get that revenue moving around, maybe UIL does.
Yeah, and travel's such a big issue. It's hard to find neutral site spots in Arkansas. So winners and runners-up get to host the first round. 3rd and 4th get to go on the road. You could be in Texarkana and have to play in Fort Smith just because of the way it works sometimes. So having home field in that state matters a great deal.
Let's do this. Let's go to Hannah real quick, and we will come right back, talk about some other matchups.
Tackles are number 71, Matt Parks, and number...
Hannah here with Texarkana Game Day with Anthony Roan. Anthony, it's great to see you. Can you tell me what we got going on here with Texarkana College?
Definitely. We're just implementing that Texarkana College is definitely for everyone. Definitely, if you want to take the traditional academic route, we have those, as well as the workforce programs where we have welding, electric, as well as HVAC, diesel mechanic, and all those things. Just telling the community that whatever you want to do, Texarkana has that to offer.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Anthony. I have a question for you. Who's going to win tonight?
Definitely the Texas High Tigers.
Tigers. Go Tigers. Thanks, Anthony. Back to you, Morgan.
I'm sitting looking. We have a bunch of little high steppers behind us. I guess it's a high stepper night here at Tiger Stadium at Craig Jenkins Field. A lot of. We're calling this Tiger Stadium at Craig Jenkins Field now.
Yeah, I like
Craig.
that.
He has seven career yards on it.
I helped build this stadium.
So we figure it's time to put it.
I helped 3 of them were when he fell over a minute ago.
Treasure at Texas High. Like Tatum is somehow having a down year. They're going to be at Winsboro. I don't know a whole lot about it.
Welcome to Tiger Stadium. Winsboro's been winning. I think Winsboro's going to beat them.
Now are fighting Texas High.
It's surprising, but I think actually one of the XPG coaches is one of the assistant coaches down there now. I've been keeping up with him because he posts on it every week after the game. They've been playing Winsboro's been playing really good football.
Yeah. I don't even know where Winsboro is. It's like I hear it all the time. I don't know where it's at.
It's not far from Mount Vernon.
Like Whitman and Pittsburgh.
I know where Mount Vernon is now.
There you go.
We're right out for good reasons.
I want to go back to the Arkansas High game for just a second because I think there's a lot riding in that, not just for the Razorbacks and home field. If you're not paying attention to this, McClellan High School is about to be closed. They're closing that high school and they're combining it with J.A. Fair after this year because the grades have been so bad, the passing rate's so bad, the state's taken over that school. They haven't won a state championship, I think it's been 45 years. And so there's a lot of emotion going on in McClellan. They lost a game to Hot Springs earlier this year. They were surprised by it. I think the Razorbacks are going to have a snootful tonight. This is a McClellan team that's playing for something different than everybody else in the state is. They're trying to do one last thing for the other schools that have, the other kids who won state championships in that school before. So that's one to keep a real close eye on. It's an interesting story tonight.
I like my Hogs in that one. I'm taking my Hogs on the road. Yeah. I think Coach Norton, they've had a few tough tests the last 2 games.
I wouldn't pick against Coach Norton, but I'd be scared too anyway. Coach Norton takes it serious. Hey, this is the difference in somebody who gets paid to do this and you guys. You see how stuff he knows? I need y'all to figure this out. Can y'all start figuring this out like this? Let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back with Coach Stanford.
46, Oscar Hernandez.
Find yourself in need of emergency care, come see us at Texarkana Emergency Center. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We're locally owned with board-certified physicians for all your emergencies. We accept all private insurance. At Texarkana Emergency Center, we have on-site lab, pharmacy, x-ray, ultrasound, and CT. Come see us at Texarkana Emergency Center. Real ER without the wait. The next generation of emergency care.
Trust, Guarantee Bank.
We are back. We have head coach Jerry Stanford with us, and Craig has somehow officially got this Tiger Stadium at Craig Jenkins Field.
Yes, absolutely, not a problem at all.
He said Texas High Booster Club's going to pay for his statue and everything.
We're waiting for his donation.
Coach, man, big game tonight.
It is big game.
Sherman in town. It's a wing it in kind of district, from my understanding. What's your game plan tonight?
You know, it's kind of we've got 3 weeks right here where this week doesn't necessarily define the season, but it is a good start to helping out in a lot of ways. You know, it's a good jump start to the next 3 weeks. Kind of the game plan tonight, they live by their O-line and they live by their D-line. And we've got to do a really good job sustaining and being a balanced offense tonight. Ryan's got to get going early at quarterback. And defensively, we've got to be able to stop the run. I mean, that's where it's really going to be. Force them to be one-dimensional is going to be the biggest thing all night long. If we can do that, we got a chance.
I know it's not a must-win game, but that's kind of the talk all week. How do you address the team this week and tell them, you know, not for their nerves to be overzealous?
I don't know that you want there to be a sense of urgency. I mean, this time of year, it doesn't matter what your record is this time of year. There's got to be a sense of urgency if you want to get in. And the teams that have that sense of urgency are the ones that usually do. And so we've got to practice and play with that sense of urgency.
I was looking at a little bit of film on YouTube of Sherman. Would you say you guys kind of are similar? Because they seem like they're pretty balanced offense, just like you guys, offense and defense.
Well, the head coach was my offensive coordinator.
Okay.
So we're probably real similar in a lot of ways. We worked together for 15 years.
Okay, maybe that's why, because they're really well balanced.
They really are. Real well balanced. real methodical about how they do things. They're going to live behind that offensive line. They've got 2 running backs that are very capable running backs, just really solid players, and they're patient with it. They don't get away. They're not going to get out of their game plan, and they play behind their defense as much as anything. It's really solid.
Coach, I bet you're excited to get your quarterback that's got the reps in all summer and get him back for this week. Are you excited about getting him back?
Yeah, we are. We're real excited to get him back. You know, we need him to get going early. That's probably the biggest thing. Is just settle down early in a big game at home. Just settle back down, get back comfortable with taking the snaps, calm down early.
You know, he was sending me plays last week, and it's like they were double teaming Clayton and almost like kind of keeping an eye on Jalen on the other side. Is the word out on how good your DNs are?
Yeah, you know, that's going to happen. Last week defensively, we played our worst game of the year, and the kids know that. We just did not play well. We didn't practice well. Our effort, no matter who it was, just really wasn't there. And so those 2 guys have got to come on tonight. And really our whole D-line's just got to play a great game.
Who should we be looking out for tonight? We know what to expect from Kobe Wester, Tracy Cooper. Who's the guy we need to keep a camera on tonight?
Yeah, I think Ryan's got to have a big game for us. I really do. I think Ryan, and I think Tristan Whitehead in our D-line, Devontae Jack and Christian Serrata, those 3 guys there in the middle, they've got to have a big game. And they're an A to B gap run team. They really want to run in between the tackles, and those 3 guys in the middle and our 2 linebackers have got to play well.
What the matchup there in that O-line, D-line, I mean, what does that matchup look like? Because I tell everybody, I go to your practice, like, man, he's got some really big kids.
Yeah. They average about 280 on their O-line.
Hey.
And so tonight it's really a matter of want to and effort tonight. And we've got to have some want to and effort up front about really just getting after it and being nasty and just fighting every snap. Yeah. We've got to be willing to fight and get dirty in the trenches tonight.
Oh, sorry. I thought you tapped my leg to talk. So Tracy Cooper, we were talking earlier about, if you can get him going, we know Kobe Webster can have a big night, especially with Sellers back. Offensive game plan against, a team like this, is it with a talent like Tracy, do you want to get him working in early?
We do. They kind of play an exotic defense a little bit. It's not your normal what you see. They play this Iowa State style, which is kind of a trend right now in high school football that's kind of coming on. So it's a little bit different. We fully expect them to double Kobe all night. It's kind of what we're expecting, that takes somebody out of the box. And so we hope our O-line is just they're not a huge defensive line by any stretch of the means. They're just a very physical defensive line. They're all seniors. They've started for 3 years, and they're real physical. And so we've got to match that physicality. Tracy's got to have a big night running the ball, and Ryan's got to have a big night running the ball.
Watching that first game I watched earlier in the year, the key to your team to me is the offensive line and running that big running back. Yep. I mean, if you control that line of scrimmage, y'all usually win.
We've been able to do that, most of the year. Even last week, Tracy rushes for 130 yards. And so we've got to finish drives. We're doing a great job of getting to the 30 and the 40, but then stalling out and getting a penalty or a false start or something like that. And so we've got to finish drives tonight, and we've got to have some big plays. Last couple of weeks, I'd say that last week we just didn't have that big play capability.
With Ryan back at quarterback, that allows you them not to load up the box. Yep. And it's going to help Tracy out because people have to stay at home, right?
Absolutely. 100%.
Tracy's a great kid, by the way.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
How about this offer he got, man? I was really proud for him.
He's excited, and I think it's the first of many to come. I think 1 usually equals 3 or 4, and Tracy's done such a good job. He's the one kid that we know every day is going to be there, be consistent, and do his job week in and week out.
Such a humble kid.
I was going through a few of their stats. I noticed they didn't have a lot of interceptions in their secondary. Is that something you guys may try to take advantage of?
Some of that's due to what they play. They play kind of a 5 shell across the back end where you're not going to force a bunch of balls. So most of your throws are going to be underneath. And so you don't want to force the ball in the middle of the field. There's going to be people there. And so everything's kind of hashes out against these guys, and it's always underneath and try to play for yards after the catch in a lot of ways. And so they kind of play this safe defense in the back where nobody's really taking chances in the middle.
Well, you've got a receiver that can catch a short pass and turn it into something
That's
very
what we're
special.
hoping for tonight.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, man, we know you got to get back. Wish you the best of luck tonight. Looking forward to seeing you play.
Appreciate it.
We'll holler at you post game.
Thanks, guys.
All right, let's take it to Hannah.
Y'all be careful.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Hannah here with Texarkana Game Day. I've got Lisa to my right. Lisa, can you tell us a little bit about Pack the Boot tonight with the Texas High Steppers?
Yes, ma'am. We're doing Pack the Boot. The girls are going to California for spring break to do some dance classes and get to, just go enjoy California. So we're doing Pack the Boot, which is a split the pot raffle. So the girls will be up in the stands during first quarter and second quarter selling the tickets. They're $5 for one ticket, or you can get 5 tickets for $20. And at the end of the quarter, we'll count everything up, and then we'll split the pot with whoever the winner is.
Okay, awesome. So you get it's $5 for 5 tickets, and then what was the deal?
$5 a ticket, and then 5 tickets for $20.
Okay, awesome. Well, everyone should come and buy some tickets and enter a chance to win the drawing. All righty. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Back to you, Morgan.
So we're back. Let's talk a little bit more about area football games. Let's talk DCAB at Paul Pewitt. Paul Pewitt, I saw, is one of the few undefeated teams left in the state in 3A.
I think they're still going to be undefeated after this week.
They're going to stay undefeated. I've been getting messages all week from players. They're like, man, when are you going to show us some love? I said, I'll show y'all love all the time. They said that 99-yard run, I don't know if you saw it, they had North City, was just nasty.
I think DCAB has a good team. I think they have a good team. I just don't think they have enough to beat Paul Pewitt.
Yeah. Paul Pewitt, it's hard to get stats out of a Paul Pewitt. You probably have all of them, don't you? You're probably the guy I need to talk to.
Not enough stats about him, but I'll tell you this, Paul Pewitt's going to bully DCAB. That's what's about to happen tonight. And I like DCAB too. I think you're right, but those linemen that Paul Pewitt have, they are men. Paul Pewitt's going to bully them down the field tonight.
They're very well coached.
Yeah, they are very well. You're exactly right. I like Pewitt a lot. They're going to be 7-0 after tonight, and that's no offense to DCAB. They're turning a corner and they're doing a lot better, but this is a different deal tonight.
I'm going to step out on a limb and take DCAB.
Really?
No, I'm not. I just
Limbs
try
go
to
great.
do a little different. But I'm going to take Paul Pewitt.
You know, obviously everybody's going to take Paul Pewitt on that, but here's one for you. Hugh Springs is playing really well. Hooks is going to Hugh Springs. I saw a little chatter on our Instagram page when we put their video out from last week. A bunch of the kids were like, yeah, they're about to take that L this week. So, all right, well, let me look up Hugh Springs real quick, see where it's at and what's going on over there. Beat Atlanta 32-29 last week. Atlanta's a great football team.
Atlanta is a good football team. This is a great football district. Hugh Springs, Jefferson, Mount Vernon, Atlanta. We could be talking about any of those four, I think, in the last 2 weekends of the football season this year. I like Hooks. It's at Hugh Springs, though. I'm going to lean to Hugh Springs, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Hooks hang with them and maybe even beat them.
I think Hooks has the talent. I think they've got the size. I think they've got the speed. But from what I've seen from Hugh Springs, I'm going to go with Hugh Springs also.
I don't know at that level how Devarius Clark can kind of be contained. You know, I
agree with that too.
We were talking, and we were like, man, what do you think he would do at like a Texas High or like a 6A level? Because, you know, he was obviously the best player on the football field. I mean, it was obvious. And I mean, of course there would be a difference, but I mean, he's a large kid to be playing, you know.
His outside run last week, no one even touched him. I mean, he just ran him off the fence.
Let's take a moment to honor America.
So we were about 15 minutes from kickoff here at Tiger Stadium at Craig Jenkins Field, and let's talk a little bit after this moment of silence.
Cancer patients and in honor of our veterans and troops at home and abroad. Thank you. You may be seated.
You know, speaking about cancer patients right there, we just completed a documentary film. Remember Chloe?
Yeah.
We just completed a documentary film. So they're going to have a 5K November 2nd. Link would be on TXK Marketing's Facebook page. That will premiere Monday at 7:30. And it's about 15 minutes long, and man, it is like all emotion through that. It's I'm really proud of the documentary, and being able to kind of go and, you know, not really knowing her, but kind of be able to listen to people talk about her. You know, it's a sad deal, but you know, memories living on that. But this Texas High Sherman game, like we talked about with Coach Stanford, this win and get in, you know, it's not a must win, but like you said, it feels like it.
Yeah, coaches don't ever want to label that, but in the back of the mind, in everybody's mind, it's a must win. I mean, you control your own destiny if you win.
These coaches are bad about that. I guess I found they're all the same. Like we go to Hooks last week, Coach, man, we're gonna come out. All right, man, good. Yeah, man, looks like you might have an easy win. Looks like they're on a possibly a down year. Oh no, you know, man, we could lose by 4 touchdowns. You know, it's like
it's the alternative rather than we'll kill them, and then you come out.
You hear them after the game. I knew we were going to win that. I mean, I knew it the entire time. Y'all did exactly what I said.
They go to coaching school and learn how to say those things.
That's exactly right.
Want to keep the expectation down here.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
that's right.
Texas High, man, we had talked all year early in the year how good their defense was.
Yeah,
I didn't realize how good this district's offense was.
Oh my God!
That running back last week was ridiculous.
You know, I when I talk to people about it, I tell them, you know, back before we got in this new district, you may face one guy all year that's a true D1 guy, and now you face 1 to 2 every week, and you can't. I mean, it's tough to game plan just for them and leave anything else open. Like I say, that guy only touched the ball 10 times last week, but he made such a huge impact, and you know, I mean, it's just like that every week. I don't think Sherman has the athletes that we've been facing, but it's going to be a test.
I still think not having Sellers was a big part of it as well. You know, it's just like you say, the offense was a little stagnant. So
Sellers just allows us to do so much more with our offense. Like I said, Brayson McHenry and even Zane Dodson that came in and threw a touchdown pass, they're good quarterbacks. But Sellers allows you. The defense can't. You can't be one dimensional. And the defense can't just load up the box when Sellers is there because he's going around the end and they're waving at it.
Well, your defense don't get as much rest either.
That's exactly right.
To me,
that's exactly
one
right.
of the biggest things.
Yeah. That's exactly
right.
And we've been hurt. You know, there's not been huge injuries, and there's been a couple of guys out, but Halter's had a bum knee for a couple of weeks, and I think he's back 100%. And he's kind of the general of the defense.
He don't have no
linebacker.
athletes in that family, does he?
No. No, you'll hear his dad up there tonight for sure. Something happens, but I mean he's a beast, and he flies around to the ball and he calls the defense and everything, gets it going. But I'm expecting a big night for our defense and a big night for our offense. I just think, you know, protecting our home turf and a must-win game and getting everybody back and healthy, I think is a big key.
I'm excited to see Clayton Smith play again. Jalen Green at the other, defensive end. You probably know this about me. I like offense, but I love watching a defensive play.
Sure.
And I know I probably shouldn't say this. My favorite play is just like a defenseless receiver and a strong safety that just does not care. That's my favorite play to watch in football. But it won't be around much longer.
I just want to say that.
It won't be. We don't see that too much anymore. But I just love the defensive side of the football. I can appreciate a defensive end disrupting a play and it doesn't go on the stat book.
Even though I feel like we're a little bit outmatched the last 3 games, we haven't won the turnover battle, and we lost it early, and so we have to come out and we have to do what we're coached to do, and we got to hold on. We got to protect the football.
Ladies and gentlemen,
first and foremost
UIL
tonight.
football officiating crew
and they're
for
getting
tonight's
back a
contest.
guy in the secondary this week at Texas High, who is one of those guys that's a turnover maker. I think that may be a thing to watch. He's one of the safeties that hasn't been on the field the last couple of weeks.
Your umpire is Harold
Why don't y'all know stuff like this?
Head linesman Gaston.
Bring him all the time now.
Line judge is Cody
Craig, what do you
Holloway.
see from your monitor?
Your field judge is Mike
like we
Riley.
said,
your side judge
get
is
Sellers
Blair
out there,
Abney.
get him comfortable,
And your
relaxed.
back judge
He's probably
tonight,
going to be pumped up a
Clayton
little bit.
Farrell.
But once he gets settled in, all he's got to do is hand the ball off. They're going to try to pound Tracy Cooper.
I'm like, if Tracy starts off big immediately, Kobe's going to have a huge night.
I think Sellers is going to run the ball a lot tonight. I think he's going to pull it out and run it a lot tonight. That's what I think.
He is our Texas High insider, and I don't think he misses a practice. So.
But didn't he go to
I go out there and run the track.
Yeah.
I see practice.
Didn't he go to Arkansas High?
Yeah, Razorback Billy over here.
It's amazing how they make
It's all about your kids.
It's
all about your kids.
He's been talking about switching over to orange anyway.
No. I'll have my red on tomorrow.
Craig Jenkins
Early. I'll have it on tomorrow.
Who's Arkansas have tomorrow?
Auburn.
That look on your face when you say that.
We can't win that game.
We got a good little stretch of Auburn, Alabama, and LSU, but you know, I mean,
all games y'all have a chance to win if I pick it.
Yeah, you might get lucky and get within 30.
Well, it's all right because it's all that is the future Razorback coach that they're going to be seeing tomorrow. That's all that is.
Oh no! I'm a Chad Morris fan, and I think he's going to do good.
Didn't you go up to the airport when he first got hired? I thought I remember that.
I heard there was a plane with a hog on the tail, so I made my way out there.
Billy was cheesing, boy.
Billy was cheesing. He probably paid $500 to go meet him.
He jumped in his car and he was gone. I don't blame you. I'm a fan too, man. That's awesome.
We took Gus's on that plane. We'll see how much he pays for that one.
Hey, whoever's the coach, I'm behind.
There it is.
Let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial. We'll come back and take you right up to right before kickoff, and let's see the players run out.
If you find yourself in need of emergency care, come see us at Texarkana Emergency Center. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We are locally owned with board-certified physicians for all your emergencies. We accept all private insurance. At Texarkana Emergency Center, we have on-site lab, pharmacy, x-ray, ultrasound, and CT. Come see us at Texarkana Emergency Center. Real ER without the wait. The next generation of emergency care.
We are back from Tiger Stadium at Craig Jenkins Field, and all that is a complete joke. It's not Craig Jenkins Field.
I kind of feel like it is because I put in a lot of work out here.
Right behind us, he had his 7 yards of fame.
Glory.
But look, let's get real. The players are about to run out. We're about 8 minutes to kick off. We're got about 3 left on the show. Tony, what does Texas High have to do tonight?
Oh, they got to control the line of scrimmage, and that big front, defensive and offensive, run the ball with Tracy Cooper. I think that's what they're going to do too. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win it by 7-10 points.
I think they're going to have to. It's going to have to be all around. They're going to have to stop the run, but Sherman is going to try to pass the ball as well. Their quarterback's approaching 1,000 yards on the season. Running backs at about 800-900 yards rushing. So it's going to be a mix of things. They're going to have to try to control.
What are we going to see tonight, Billy?
Win the turnover battle. They must win the turnover battle, and they must be able to be balanced. And what I mean is be able to do both. And if they can be able to run and pass and not get behind, and in fact, if they can get Sherman down, I think Sherman won't be able to play as well from behind as they will out in front.
I can see the Tigers coming out throwing the ball a little bit. I think they're going to try to put in the Sherman's mind, we've got a threat to pass the football. Even if it's a bad series, the first series, it may change people's conception about what we're going to have to do defensively the rest of the game. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't come up throwing the first series and maybe all 3 plays.
So they're going to use the pass to open up the run
I think so.
a little bit.
I think tonight they may.
I was thinking we were going to see run open up the pass, but that's actually a really good point. Because if they're, I don't know if they know the starting quarterback's back. You know what I mean?
I bet they do. I bet they do. If they didn't,
I'm not
when
sure
they got
they do
here,
because I was
bet they
talking
didn't.
to one of the guys over here, and I didn't even know that Sellers was back. And he was like, "Oh, so he's out."
Yeah,
I
that's
was
probably
like,
why you're going to get fired this week because you don't keep up with anything. I need to hire a coach from the other side of the field.
Well, when you work a regular job and you have to keep an eye on the statue being built over there.
Craig claims that beside the indoor practice facility, they're building a statue of him. That's what they're doing with all that dirt work.
I can see that.
They're gonna do in Arkansas High. They're doing the Billy Lavender statue.
I'm scared of what that'll look like.
It'll be short.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Wow. Invited me up.
Wow.
Oh,
good thing I'm this big.
Oh, yeah, no, I like Billy.
That's
That's
right.
I'll tell you, hey, Billy's a heck of a golfer. Billy's a heck of an athlete. Norton was telling me you're good at everything.
I try to tell everybody that, but nobody listens.
I believe you.
I'm a great golfer. I shot
seen it.
143 last time.
Well, at least you're honest with your golf
played
score.
with, right?
At least he's honest with his golf score. Hey, if I start flirting with the mid 90s, I just start making stuff up.
Tigers are about to take the field.
Yep.
I slice everything way right. Man.
Let's take it to our camera on the field, and then we will catch you back at halftime for the recap and also the band's performance. Show you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get on our feet, put our hands together, and welcome to the field, your Texas High Tigers!